That's Hunter.
Yeah. Mr. Angry Man is back. I'm back. That's right. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Nah. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Listen. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. United we fall, divided we rise. That's all they ever see when they look in our eyes. I ain't the least bit surprised, and I don't even ask why. I study, looking for love, and all we get is despise. They prophet lying, what? Meaning they falsely prophesying, talking about we really living, but we steadily dying. Tired of mothers crying, damn, and fathers silently raging. There's gotta be a way to escape this situation now. Yup. Come on. Verse 2, we search for brighter days to escape the maladies, giving homage to the folks that passed away. I speak life with the words I say, and that's the weapon I use to keep the evil at bay. I don't play when it comes to mine. My rhymes speak of a revolution this time. It's by design, and I'ma drop these deposits. So if you scared, take your ass to the closet. Why? Let me tell you this. Let's go. I got one more verse for you. Get them off of that verse. Listen to me now. Verse 3. I drop gems, representing lugs and Timbs with backpacks. I got props like Black Moon, they want effect like Daz. I'm wearing mic like Nas. I'm the southern playalistic cat that beat them odds. I'm coming out hard. We coming out hard. Yes, sir. Y'all didn't know that I can rock like that. One time for your mind. Representing for the deuce. That's right. Put it down for the deuce straight. Let's go. Mr. Angry Man. Haha. Peace. What's good? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Trailblazers Radio. More specifically, welcome to the check-in. This is the show that we talk about all things mental health and everything else in between, but we talk about it from a personal perspective, which at this point in time means my own. Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in with us tonight, man. To this evening, my name is Frederick Beatty. I'm your host for this evening, and I want to thank you guys so very much for tuning in to us tonight. Not gonna be up here before you very, very long. Quick disclaimer: we don't own any rights to any music that's being played that's played in the background or in or beforehand. The song you just heard is a song that I wrote and I actually recorded. The name of the song is called Real Talk. Most definitely give a big shout out to Jan Hunter Jr. for the fire track, man. If you guys are interested in checking him out, or even want to check out any of his music and things of that nature, you can check him out on his YouTube channel at Jan Hunter Jr. You can also check him out on his Instagram channel at Jan Hunter Jr. as well. Really, really cool guy with some great music, man. So most definitely check him out. So, like I said it before, I'm not going to be up here before you guys very, very long but I do want to really just put something out here, and I really want to talk about it from my own personal perspective. I think a lot of people will more than likely understand where I'm coming from once I break this down a little bit more. Just to let you guys know, man, we're on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel, which we are on the road to 100 subscribers. By all means, go check out our YouTube channel at Trailblazers with a Z Radio. Take a look at some of our podcasts and our shows. And if the content resonates with you, by all means, subscribe. We most definitely will appreciate your subscription. We're also on social. We're also on several audio streaming platforms such as Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Deezer Radio, Amazon Audio, iHeartRadio, and a host of others. So make sure you check and make sure you tap in with us there if you just want to listen to audio only podcasts, audio only presentations there. Um, we also have a website, www.trailblazerswithaz radio.net. So go check out our website and see what we have going on there as well. We because our website is up. Our website is updated as much as we can update it. Try to get a constant update schedule with that so we can make sure we have the most recent content there available for you guys. Also, if you watched LSG's podcast earlier, she also mentioned that we do want to do some we are looking to advertise. Actually, if you're someone who has a business or who has a platform, or better yet, you have something that you would like to present to us to have us advertise it for you, by all means, get in contact with us via email at trailblazers with a Z at gmail.com, trailblazers radio with trailblazers with a Z radio at gmail.com. And once again, most definitely gonna give big shout out to all my hosts: Quint Jones, Coco Fenton, Latalia Harris, good, also known as LHG. These guys are my team. We walk side by side with each other. We don't. There's no front. There's no back. But we walk hand in hand with each other. We walk side by side with each other, and we make this thing happen. LSG has been putting out some great content. Quentin Coco has been putting out some great content. I know I've been a little bit lagging, so I plan on trying to make that up by bringing you guys more of these check-in shows. Because I do feel that talking about certain things is important. So, and most definitely want to give a shout out to God and Jesus Christ, because without him, none of this would be possible. You know what I'm saying? None of this would be possible. Also want to give a big shout out to all my authors out there who are going to be releasing a book within this coming week, or later on within this coming month. Congratulations to you. Big congratulations to all you guys who are releasing books this month or next month or further down the line. Big congratulations to you guys. So, with all that being said, excuse me. I want to just put a real quick disclaimer out here really quickly that the things I'm about to say are based upon my own personal experiences. But I do feel my experiences are relevant, can be relevant for those who listen. I won't even say listen, but for those who listen and didn't understand the things of what I'm about to say. And like I said, I'm not going to be here before you long, to be quite honest with you. So, with that being said, and I do apologize for how I sound right now. My allergies are in overdrive, and that's crazy. So I apologize for that. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. So I apologize for how I sound right now. My allergies are like in overdrive, so I apologize for that. So, with that being said, y'all, let's hop into this, man. The subject of this particular check-in is called lemons and lemonade. There's a reason why I said lemons and lemonade. Hey, Latalia, what's going on? Hey, LSG, what's happening? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. And again, I do apologize for how I sound. Again, allergies are in overdrive, so I apologize for that. So the name of this particular episode is Lemons and Lemonade. So you're probably wondering why I mentioned lemons and lemonade. Well, The reason that I said that is this is based upon a poem that I wrote last night called Lemons and Lemonade. The reason that I wrote this poem, that it was something that I was thinking about uh, a lot of things that happened over the last few years of my few years of my existence. Um, Still dealing with navigating grief and loss. Still working on working on being a better person, a better, more effective man, better yet, just an all around better human being. So, excuse me. So I wrote a poem, and it came, and I kind of put all that put those thought processes in this poem, which I'll read to you guys in a few moments. But I kind of want to give a premise of why I wrote it, but I also want to kind of break down the reasonings as to what the importance of it, and how it can be applicable to anybody, how it can be applicable to anyone else that's listening or watching this evening. So, like I said, I wrote this poem last night. It is, like I said, very indicative of a lot of things that I've been feeling, a lot of things that I've been experiencing. But it also kind of puts certain things in perspective for me. At least it puts some things in perspective for me, at least. So I want to kind of just rush, kind of want to just, if you don't mind, I want to recite the poem to you, and then I want to kind of, then I want to talk about it, if you guys don't mind. So here we are, lemons and lemonade. Pardon me. Okay, pardon me for just a moment. Gotta make sure I get this pulled up for you. Pulled up for me. All right, here we go. Lemons and lemonade. Life gave me lemons, but I refuse to make lemonade. As bitter tasting as the last 8 years have been without my son, and the last 3 years of trying and failing in a healing process, and of also looking for and trying to attain a sense of balance and belonging. Well, making lemonade just ain't the thing. And yet I find it very ironic because they say when life gives you lemons, you're supposed to make lemonade. And right now, I have no desire to make lemonade. Because when you walk the path that I walk, being presented with all the lemons that life has thrown and piled upon me, those are numerous. Those are quite numerous. And I am always presented with the temptation to make lemonade and sweeten the blows that life has thrown at me. But for me, I'd rather eat the lemons than make lemonade. Why? Because bitter experiences, at least for me, are difficult to deal with and even harder to taste. But they become somewhat sweeter as I've experienced it, as I've experienced life, and I've tried to enjoy it to the full. As I've excuse me, as I've experienced life and tried to enjoy it to the fullness. But every once in a while, and I mean every once in a while, I get the temptation to make lemonade, and yet I don't. That's the poll. Lemons and lemonade. So you're there's you're obviously wondering what what's the meaning of this? What is there any type of significant meaning to this? Does it have any type of any relevance or anything of that nature? Well, it does. It really, really does. And there's an inherent meaning in the word in the words, especially the two words lemons and lemonade. I will explain that to you guys. I'll explain that to you guys briefly. Before I do that, well, I was gonna I was gonna take a quick break, but I'm not gonna even do that right now. So let's let's just hop into it. The two words that I'm gonna focus on are lemons and lemonade. So most people we all know the saying: when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? That basically it says if life gets tough, you just either when life gets tough, you get tougher, or you when life gets sour, you do whatever you can to sweeten it, right? That's kind of sort of that's at least what I believe the statement means. When life gets sour, you try to do your best to sweeten it. However, what if I told you, or what if I gave you a different perspective? What if I gave you a different perspective to look at this from, or to look at it in? Would you be intrigued? Would you be interested? Would you even want to know? If your answer is yes, then allow me if your answer is yes, allow me to if your answer is yes, allow me to explain. So the lemons in the piece that I wrote, they represent a lot of things. They represent a very they represent a lot of things, y'all. The lemons in this piece that I wrote, they represent the sum total of our experiences. Our experiences from birth, childhood, adulthood, up to the present. They also represent the pain those experiences exact upon us, as well as the strong emotions that accompany those experiences. And what I mean by the sum total of our experiences, I mean every aspect of our lives that we have experienced, from the happy moments to the sad moments, to the serious moments, to the not so serious moments, to the good, the bad, the indifferent, the unsure, all of these moments. They also represent the strong emotions that accompany these moments. They also represent our experiences, and what I mean by our experiences, they also represent our traumas. So yeah, our traumas are part of our experiences. Our traumas bring about strong emotions that come with that come with those, that accompany that. So what I mean by the limits, I mean our experiences. That means our experiences that we had as kids growing up, whether you know, whether we were physically, emotionally, or mentally abused as a child, whether we were sexually abused as a child, whether we were emotionally or mentally abused as an adolescent, or whether we were emotionally, physically, or sexually abused as an adolescent, whether we went through the same experiences as an adult. The limits also speak to the anxiety, the PTSD, the schizophrenia, the the OCD, the OCD, the all these things that we go through as all these things we go through as human beings living this human experience. There's so many things that we go through in this human experience that we really don't really give credence to it. So the limits represent they represent all those things. and they represent everything that we go through. These are all the bitter tasting things. These are all the bitter tasting things. So the happy times and the joyous times, those are the sweet things, but I'm speaking more to the bitter things, the hurt, the pain, the loss, the grief, the silent suffrage, those things. Those are the things that taste bitter to us when we try to drink them, when we try to drink them down, or we try to taste them, or we try to ingest them. They taste bitter. Those are things that we want to spit out, and we want to not taste it. We don't want to, or we try to quickly wash it down with something else. Those are the times where we feel like we're scattered, we're shattered emotionally, we're scattered mentally, and in some cases, we're fractured physically. That's what I mean by the limits. These are all the things that we've experienced, all the bitter things that we've experienced. And it's hard. It is difficult for us, as bitter tasting as these things are. And I can most definitely speak from my own personal experience, and I can most definitely speak, excuse me, from my own personal experience. The last, I know I don't want to keep harping on the loss of my son, but these 8 years, it'll be damn near 8 years since he's been gone off this plane of existence, and it's not like it has been easy. It's been difficult. It has been difficult to to try to not just to move forward, but to keep forward momentum and forward progress. Just more recently, these last these last 2.5 years have been difficult for me to try. But more recent, and this is more recently. This is more recently. The last 2.5 years have been difficult because as a man, I've been searching searching and trying to attain a sense of balance. Um, trying to determine, and not necessarily determine, but trying to put my purpose in better focus. Learning how to do how to learning how to be a better person, a more effective person, a more effective man, um, a more effective boyfriend, father, husband, more not husband. I'm sorry, more effective father, um, grandfather, boyfriend, brother, son, cousin, all those things. I'm still navigating those. I'm still navigating those things. I'm still navigating that. Still navigating that ocean. Still navigating that ocean, still looking for that safe harbor. Looking to get find balance within my job and my business. Looking to be better at managing, and be looking to be better at managing my business. Looking for ways that I can generate income for my business. Looking for ways where I can, be better, be and do better. It has not been easy. It has not been easy. Not by any stretch of the imagination. It has not been easy. And there are every day is a different day. Every day is a different day, a different challenge. Every day is a different obstacle to climb over, a different wall to either break through or go or climb over. Every day is a different emotion that I have to manage. There are times where I'm completely happy and joyous, and just I'm in a positive mood, or I'm in a positive mode. And there are other times where I'm not that. I'm not positive. I'm not happy. I'm not joyous. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. There are also times where I'm indifferent. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And there are times. I mean, I'm there are times where I come to a crossroads where I have to choose to either go right, left, or straight, right, left, straight, or just stand there and wait. And there have been times where I've done that. Those are the limits in my life. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people can speak to the limits in their lives. You know, we're all human beings, and we're all going through this human experience, and we all have experienced something that I mentioned in one form or another. Uh, you may have not experienced it. You may have not personally experienced it, but you know somebody who has. You may be in contact with somebody who has. You may know something. You may know something about what that person's experienced, and you just or you might just be someone who's a very empathic person, and you can feel the pain of other people. We've like I said, we've all been through we're all living this thing called life, and this experience of being a human, and we've all dealt with the strong emotions that come with the experiences that we have or we've had. We also know we also we, there's a we also we are there's also we deal with the consequences of our choices. Our choices either exact something good, either exact a reward, or something else. Well, either way, our choices exact a reward. Whether the reward is going to be a good reward or a bad reward largely depends on the action that's taken. And we've all dealt with that. We've all been there. We've all experienced that in one form or another. We've all had that up close and personal experience with whatever it is that we've dealt with. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, whether it's a loss of a family member or a friend, or whether it's us dealing with whether it's we're dealing with childhood trauma, or whether it's dealing with trauma that happened in your adult life, in our adult lives, whether it's dealing with abandonment issues, um, dealing with abandonment issues as a child, whether it's us dealing with trying to be a good father, trying to be a good mother, trying to be a good son or daughter, or whatever it is. We've all dealt with that. And like I said, I personally have dealt with a lot of those things. And like I said, it has been difficult. The loss of a child has been difficult. The separation and eventual divorce, that was something that I had to deal with. All these things are difficult to deal with. They all compile They all compile. They all kind of just they all add up. And I like something that LSG said in one of her last podcasts. The body keeps the score. The body does keep the score. Especially when you're not paying attention. And if you're not paying attention, your body will react in a way that's not going to be favorable for you, for in a way that's not favorable for us. But that's the limits part of it. That's the limits part of it. The limit A part of it is a little different than what the say what the limit A part of it to me, at least from the perspective I'm gonna come from tonight, this evening, is a little different from what the actual saying is. They say in the saying, life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That basically they're saying that, you know, do something else to sweeten or lessen what you're experiencing. I look at that I look at that phrase differently. And the way and from the perspective that I look at it from, lemonade represents the mask that we put on to try to let folks know that everything is okay. It's the mask we put on to hide our true emotions, our true feelings, from our experiences. That the lemonade is something that just kind of just makes it feel sweeter, and it throws our mind off the experience, or throws our mind off our healing process. Oh, this tastes sweet, so I can this is really really good and really really sweet, so I can ignore my healing process. Oh man, this looks really really good. It looks really really presentable. It tastes really really good. It's really really sweet. So I can ignore I can ignore or disregard all the steps I took to get to the point of being a better person. Or this tastes really really good and it's really really sweet, and so guess what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ignore the accountability that I have to my children, or to my brother, or to my brother, to my girl, to my brother, to my girlfriend, to my granddaughter. These things look good, and the way that lemonade is presented, it looks really really good. It looks really 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 refreshing. But in actuality, in the process of being refreshed, we're putting on a mask. It would be completely and totally ignorant of the things that we're supposed to do as human beings. We're told we totally ignore our healing process. We totally ignore our responsive our response the response our responsibilities to ourselves. And I'm not saying and I'm not speaking on this I'm speaking on this from a male and a female perspective. I know a lot. I know a lot. I know a lot of the, a lot of my check a lot of the check-in shows that I've done have been geared towards our brothers, and it'll be something that'll remain geared towards our brothers. But this is something that this is something that speaks to both. That speaks to both male and female. And brothers, my brothers, I want you guys to pay close attention. Pay close attention, because what I'm talking about is it go what I'm talking about goes back to how it goes back to what we are how we are as men. What we are as men. This month It's Men's Health Month, and this is something this month is Men's Health Month. So this is a month that we all as men should be able should take account and take stock of our health, our holistic stock of our health in a holistic manner, whether it's our physical health, it's our emotional and mental health, whether it's our sexual health. Um, all these things should be taken in account. And we should be able to take stock of that. But and that's important. But back to the lemonade. Like I said earlier, it's presented in a great. It's presented well. It's presented in a nice tall glass with ice in it, and it's got a cup of slice. It's got sliced lemons in it, and it looks really really good. It is really really refreshing, and all those things. And the temptation is to take it and grab it and just like and drink it down because it is refreshing, because it could be refreshing, and that it looks good, and if it looks good, it has the possibility of tasting good, right? Well, that's not always the case. Excuse me. That's not always the case. Taking that glass and drinking that lemonade puts it, we when we do that, we wear a mask, and we and we hide all the things that we felt, all the things that we feel. We And this is for my brothers especially. We I've said this on more than one occasion, and it bears repeating. It's it's hard being a male in this world. More to the point, it's hard being a black male in this world. Because as men, we as men, we have to navigate. So we navigate so much. And most of the time, and although we navigate those things ordinarily and normally without help, without assistance or help. Navigating a job, or navigating a relate, navigating a marriage, navigating a you've been navigating a business, trying to navigate balance between work, between your work life, your business, and your spouse and your children. Now we're navigating fatherhood. Some of us like myself. I'm a grandparent. So now you're navigating being a grandparent, or trying to be the best grandparent that you can be. And these things are difficult. And most of the time for us as men, we usually we normally don't eat the lemons. We usually drink the lemonade because we know what those limits are, and we know that we know the well. And I'm just gonna say this, like, to put this out for everybody. This is male and female, but but like I said, my brothers, I want y'all to listen very closely, because there are some things there are a lot of things that I'm speaking in this that are relate that can relate, that are relational to us, that are very relational to us. So us as human beings, men and women, especially black men and black women, we normally don't we normally don't eat the lemons. We know we We normally drink. We normally take that glass of that tall, refreshing glass of lemonade and we drink it because of the simple fact. Because of the simple fact, we want to mask and hide what it is that we truly feel. We may be going through hell on earth. We may be going through all kind of hell, but yet we're gonna take that glass of lemonade and we're gonna drink it because we don't want anybody else. We don't want anybody else, whether they're close to us or not, to see or know what we're feeling. We don't want anybody that's close to us to know to to try to overanalyze or psychoanalyze us because of what we're feeling, or because we're still reeling from the effects of a bad choice, the effects of childhood trauma, the effects of the effects of childhood trauma, the effects of adulthood trauma, the effects of bullying and cyberbullying. This is we take that tall glass and we drink it because we don't want nobody to we don't want anybody to see us at our absolute worst. And that would be a fair assessment. That would be the fairest of fair assessments. We don't want nobody to see us at our absolute worst, because guess what? You see me at my worst, and now I can't operate properly. You see me at my worst, and now I can't move correctly. You see me at my worst, now I'm at a point where I can't function. You see me at my worst, now I feel like I'm operating in dysfunction. Pray That's crazy. That's bad. That's bad as hell. That's bad crazy. I truly believe that when we take the lemonade and we drink the lemonade, we're literally just telling people that we're telling people in a decepticative way that we're okay. Knowing good damn well we're not okay. But like I said earlier, so most of the time with us as black men and black women, we're not going to eat the lemons. We're gonna drink the lemonade because nobody needs to know what we feel. Nobody needs to know what we feel. Nobody needs to know what we feel. No one needs to know what we're thinking. No one needs to know that. No one needs to know that I went through a traumatic event as an adult or as a child. Or nobody needs to know that I went through a traumatic event as an adult or a child. And nobody needs to know that I'm still hurt, that I'm still reeling and still hurting from that traumatic event as a child, or I'm still hurting from that traumatic or tragic event as an adult. Nobody needs to know that I'm still reeling back from the loss of a child. Nobody needs to know that I'm there. Nobody needs to know that there's that. Nobody needs to know that. Nobody needs to know that we still care, that I still carry baggage. That I'm still trying to jettison baggage. Still trying to jettison baggage from my past that I literally can't jettison because it's a part of me. So we drink the lemonade because we think the lemonade is an easier think the lemonade is an easier way. And we think the lemonade is easy, and it pulls the veil over what we feel, over what we felt, over the things and the experiences that we see. No, it does. It. Let me tell you something. Drinking and lemonade don't put a veil over nothing. Once you drink that glass of lemonade and thinking that you're masking things and that you're trying to alleviate things, it's still the thing the pain that you went through and all this other stuff. This is still there. It doesn't matter that you just because you drunk the lemonade and think that you're thinking that you're cool, that you're okay. Wrong answer. The pain that you felt, the pain that you went through, the pain that you're going through, the experiences that you experienced, those still remain. They're still there. What are you gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? How can we turn how can we I'll even ask a better question. How can we turn our lemons into lemonade, into something that doesn't mask what we feel, that doesn't mask our emotions, that doesn't put us in a state to where we always have to just put on this put on a face or a facade around people, knowing good damn well we're at a point, we're either at a boiling point, or we're just hurting. We're hurting so bad inside that we want to burst. Well, I mentioned it earlier, and a lot of people are going to think that this is very, very con- could be controversial, could be contradictory, but either way, in the perspective that I look at it makes sense. So what if I told you, instead of making the lemonade, what if I suggested that you eat those lemons, instead of just dulling the taste down with sugar or Splenda or whatever sweetener that you use, that most people use for lemonade, which is either some form of sugar or cane syrup or whatever. And no, I don't mean done. And I also don't mean dulling it down with alcohol either. And no, I don't mean mixing it up with any other type of thing, such as another type of fruit, maybe like strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, whatever. I don't. What if I just told you to just eat the lemon? Like I said, not adding sugar on it, not adding salt on it to make it to not adding sugar or salt, anything of that nature. What if I just told you just to eat the lemon? You probably look at me and say that I'm crazy. You probably look at me and say that I'm insane. You probably look at me and say that what the hell is this dude talking about? There's a simple reason as to why I say that. A very simple reason as to why I say that. When I was going to church, and I was attending this church by the name of Kingdom Come Ministries, that is headed by Apostle William and Donald Rogers. Apostle William Rogers and Prophetess Dr. Donald Rogers. Prophetess Rogers said something to me, and it stuck with me. It still sticks with me. It still sticks with me to this day. I'm not sure if anybody else has heard this before. However, I'm going to say this, and if it sounds familiar or if you heard it before, then I'm pretty then let me know in the chat or or however whatever. Excuse me. Drink some water. So the thing Prophetess Roger said to me is this. Well, say what he didn't say. She didn't say it to me. She said to everybody in the church congregation. But the funny thing about it is, it still resonates to me. Still resonates with me to this day. She said this, and I quote: "You can't conquer what you don't confront." End quote. You can put can't there. You can put cannot. Either way, however you want to put it. The best way that I put it is you cannot conquer what you do not confront. Simple. Real simple phrase. I'm gonna put it up here on the screen so everybody can see it. It's a real simple phrase, but it has a lot of meaning behind it. It's it is possibly self-explanatory. And it really is self-explanatory. But for those who don't quite get what I'm saying, don't quite get the gist of this particular quote. Let me break it down. Let me break it down for you. You can't conquer what you do not confront. As human beings, more specifically as black males and black females, we have overcome a lot of things. We've overcome a lot of things. We've made it through situations. We've endured through situations that would probably destroy another race or another. We made it through situations that would probably that we made it through atrocities that would probably just make everything else look like a walk in the park. And please, and I'm going to say this because I want to throw this out here right now. Please keep in mind that I'm not saying, I'm not looking down on anybody else, any other nationality or race's atrocities. It doesn't. For me to, and I'm going to say this: all atrocity, any atrocity against any race, nationality, creed, or whatever, any atrocity against a race is reprehensible and deplorable. So please, I'm making that note right now, and I'm putting out that disclaimer: all atrocities against any race of people is repugnant, deplorable, and should be condemned. So I'm not saying that black people have suffered have. I'm not trying to put any type of comparison out there, but I am making this statement relative to us as black men and black women. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. We've endured a lot of suffrage. and yet there are still things that we go through. That is a collective conquer and confront type situation. What I mean by and that's a collective conquer and confront situation. What I mean by the conquer thing, you have to you what I mean by the conquer thing meaning you have to look at what you so I said that, let me walk it back a little bit. I said the conquer and confront phrase in a collective situation, in a collective aspect. Let me make it more personal. Let me make it more personable to you. Let me make it more personable to me. If I make it more personable to me, I'm gonna say I cannot conquer what I do not confront. What am I confronting? What am I trying to conquer? Well, first of all, before you know what you're trying before first of all, before you know what you're trying to conquer, you gotta know what the hell you're trying to do. You first before you try to conquer anything, you need to know what the hell you're trying to confront. Period point blank. You need to know what you're confronting before you try to conquer anything, before you try to conquer any damn thing. So what is it? What is it? What is it that I'm trying to confront? For me, for me, I'm trying to confront this grief thing head on. Try to confront this grief thing. For me, I'm trying to confront maintaining and attaining balance. For me, I'm trying to confront the ups and downs of being trying to be a better man, be a better person or a better man. Those are things that I'm trying to confront. Now, for anybody else, if you ask yourself, what are you trying to confront? Your results may differ. Your results may differ. They may differ based upon your answer, and they will differ based upon the answer, how you answer that question. What is it that you're trying? What is it that you're ask yourself? What is it that you're trying to confront? And I'm putting that question in the chat in our chat here. Once you figured out what it is that you're trying to confront, you got to develop a strategy on how you gonna conquer that. You're gonna have to develop a strategy on how to conquer that. Whether that's a conventional strategy or whether it is an unconventional strategy. How do we how do so I'll make this a more wide spreading type question with a more widespreading and generalized answer. How do we conquer pain? How do we conquer trauma? How do we conquer our past? How do we conquer the things we went through as a child? How do we conquer the things we went through the things we went through and we still go through as adults? How do we conquer those things? Well, you conquer those things by directly confronting them. That's right. I said it. Directly confronting them A full this is a full frontal assault. There is no time. There's no need for stealth tactics here. There's no need for stealth tactics here. The enemy is already at your gates. Like I said, there's no need for a frontal assault. The enemy's already at your gates. The enemy's already at your gates. The enemy's already in your gates. So now you're at a position where you have to defend. You have to defend. You have to defend your home. Like that old, like the Under Armour commercial. We will protect this house. You got to protect. You got to protect your house. You conquer things by confronting them. Some things you can conquer. Some things you can confront in a more subtle and stealthy approach. Other things require a more direct. Other things require direct intervention. Direct, complete, and concise and decisive intervention. How do you conquer childhood trauma? How do you conquer adulthood trauma? How do you conquer how do you conquer mental health and all these things? You conquer them by directly confronting them. And yeah, and yes, that is where the eating of the lemons, that's where the eating of the lemons come in. You have to directly look, you have to look at that thing, you have to look at that thing in the face. You have to look at that thing, that trauma, that hurt, that pain. You have to look at that thing directly in it and call it what it is. Instead of trying to drink the lemonade and mask it and put the veil over your face and all this other stuff, call it what it is. Call it by its name. Call it by whatever name it is. Call it directly what it is. Once you call it what it is, you look at it, you look at it and you analyze. You don't got to be overly analytical about it, but especially if it's childhood, especially if it's childhood or adulthood trauma. I'm just gonna put it out there. In most cases, childhood trauma is not the fault of the child. It's the fault of the adult. It's a fault of the adult or the relative. It's a fault of whoever instigated or perpetrated it. Adulthood trauma, such as sexual assault, rape, and all those other things, that's not the fault of that adult. That's the fault of the perpetrator. Call these things what they are. The other thing is it comes with some calling it what it is a form of acknowledgement. It is a direct form of acknowledgement. Calling it, you could call it what it is, so that you've acknowledged it. Another thing with confrontation is take steps. Take steps to heal yourself. Whether that's seeking therapy, whether that's seeking therapy, whether that's getting bringing that person that did whatever they did to justice, whether that's just just doing what you have, just putting it behind you. Those things are important. Number one, call it what it is. Number two, find seek help. Seek find help. whether it's going like I said, whether it's going through therapy, whether it's talking with somebody, a close friend, or somebody that you know that can that will that's able to keep what you say, keep your words in confidence. Whether that's going to law enforcement and getting the person and bringing the person that did the injustice to you to justice. The other thing is forgive. Forgive you. Forgive yourself. Apologize to yourself for holding on to that pain, holding on to that thing for so damn long that it for so damn long it made your life literally a living hell. And and again I've done this. I've held things for so long that it made my life a living hell. I still look. I still carry bitter feelings when my son passed. And those bitter feelings made my life. Those bitter feelings at times make my life a living hell. Sometimes it makes my life. It makes certain aspects of my life difficult to deal with, or difficult to fathom, or even difficult to kind of just move within the everyday, or just excuse me, operate within the everyday maneuvers of life. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. It's forgive yourself. It wasn't your fault. You were not direct. You're not responsible for the actions that others put on you, especially if you're a kid, especially if you're a child, especially if you're a child, especially if you're the victim, victim of rape or sexual assault. You have no control over you didn't have any control over that. Forgive yourself. Look at it for what it look at it for what it is. Call it what it is. Forgive yourself. The last thing that I want to kind of put out here for this particular part of it, and this is important. I feel that this is so important. I feel it is very, very important. And I want every brother and every sister to listen that's up under the sound of my voice, that's listening to this or watching this right now. I want you guys to hear me very, very closely. There is a little boy or a little girl that dwells within each of us. Yes, I said it. There's a little boy, there's a little girl that dwells in each one. That dwells in each one of us. Underneath all those layers, and layers and layers and layers to us. Once you once you peel back all those layers, and you get right to the person, right to the heart, to the soft parts of yourself, the soft vulnerable parts to yourself. There's a little boy or a little girl that has been that's within those protective layers that's within those protective layers that we envelop ourselves in. And this part of it, when I talk about it, I always get emotional. So I do apologize. But this is important. That little boy or that little girl, when you first look at this individual, that little boy, that little girl has all these wounds, all these scars. They have wounds in various stages of healing. Some wounds may be fresh. Others may not be so fresh, or they may be in various stages of healing. And then there's scars. In addition to those scars, they're tear stains. They've cried and they've suffered so much. They suffer so much from all the pain that was all the pain that's been inflicted upon them throughout the years. They've cried their eyes out. They've cried so much now that you can see the tear stains on their face. This is you. All those scars and all those wounds, all those scars are previous hurts that healed that that healed physically, that healed within that person, healed within that little boy or little girl, but not with you. All those wounds, whether they're fresh or whether they're in whatever various stages of healing, all those, especially those fresh wounds, those are wounds that have been inflicted upon you, whether they're self inflicted or whether they were inflicted upon you by another person. All those tear stains, all those tear stains represents the time, represent the tear stains represents the time that this little boy, this little girl could sit every time this little boy, this little girl got hurt by a wound, they cried out, and they cried. Because every time they suffer some sort of wound, it hurts. It hurt. Every time they suffered a setback, it hurt. Every time you so put like this, and I'm gonna make this again relational. Every time you suffered a setback, it hurt the little boy, it hurt that little boy, that little girl. Every time you derailed yourself, you hurt that little boy, that little girl. Every time somebody inflicted emotional pain, emotional, mental, or physical pain upon you, you hurt that little boy or that little girl. Every disappointment, every setback, every failure, every unsuccessful relationship, every part of abuse, whether it was physical, mental, emotional, or sexual. All these things, you hurt that little boy or that little girl, and you took away you and you. I won't say you did, but people. But I won't say that you. I won't say that we do that when we do things to ourselves. But we rob that little boy or little girl of the innocence that they're supposed to have. And usually at least with me anyway, usually our first mind is to wrap our arms around them and be a protective shield, be a protective shield. No, that's not it. That's not how that's supposed to happen. That's not how it's supposed to happen. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. That little boy, that little girl that's inside of you, they've experienced every blow. that has been inflicted upon you. That has been inflicted upon you. Everything that every feeling, every feeling that you took in, every feeling that you took in without expressing, every experience that you had, whether it was negative or positive, they felt they've they've taken those blows. There may be black eyes, there may be broken bones, there may be all kind of things that you go see with this little boy and this little girl. And your first thought is going to want to wrap your arms around this individual and protect him. No. Try embracing them. Try embracing them. When you eat those lemons, when you eat those lemons and you take it all that bitter taste and the bitter taste and the nastiness and everything and all the other stuff, the stuff that when eating lemons, it makes our lips pucker and all kind of other good stuff because it's sour and it's bitter and and it's nasty, right? When you eat that lemon, you letting that little boy, that little girl know that you acknowledge what's transpired in your life up to this point. And now instead of trying to protect this little boy, this little girl, now you're gonna embrace him, and you guys are gonna walk hand in hand and side by side with better managing how things are with you. That's how you conquer things. That's how you conquer that's how you conquer the things that you know you have to confront. That's what I mean when I say eat the lemon. You can't have the enemy at you can't have the enemy at your gates, and then all of a sudden you decide you turn a blind eye to the people to turn a blind eye to your house being decimated and desecrated, right? Who would allow that? Same thing with the inner child. Same thing with this little boy, little girl that dwells within you. You're not gonna continue to let life decimate or desecrate this person, are you? Conquer what you know you got to confront. What is it that you're trying to confront? What is it that you're what live what live what so let's look at it from from this aspect. How many lemons in your lemon tree are you trying to eat? And what I mean by that, the lemons in your tree represent all the pain, all the strife, and all the things that you and all your and all the things that you are as a person, from good, bad, and different, and everything else. Things that you were responsible for, things that you weren't responsible for, things that happened to you as a kid, things that happened to you as an adult, all that type of stuff. Your traumas, all those things. How much of that and how many lemons are you trying to eat? Or how many lemons are you trying to squeeze to make lemonade? if you're trying to make lemonade, if you're trying to make lemonade, you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm gonna say that again. If you're if you're making lemonade, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're only doing that to mask what you feel. That you're not really confronting what's there, what's obviously or what's plainly in front of you. Now, if you choose to slice the lemon open and you choose to kind of just you peel it back and you decide to eat it, then you're doing your best to conquer what you conquer. You're trying to confront something. You're trying to conquer it. A lot of the things that we deal with as men and women and human beings, a lot of it, a lot of this stuff a lot of this shit is preventable. It really is. But what's the fact? But it's the method of prevention that we as human beings choose to use that often hinders our progress. So as I close this out, I want to ask you guys an honest question. Do you want to make lemonade, or would you rather eat the lemons? Think about that. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Shawan Jones, I saw you, I see you, I saw you. Thank you, um, thank you. LSG, as always, I appreciate you, sister, for coming in and just hanging out with me. Um, it's a serious conversation, y'all. Most definitely going to be doing more of these check-in videos, y'all, of these check-in shows, y'all. I'm most definitely gonna have Shawan, Miss Jones, and Mr. Crouch back for part 2 of our masculinity conversation. And I got some other topics that I most definitely want to throw out here to you guys, because I think these are topics that need to be talked about. My overarching goal for this particular type of show is to just put mental health in a different perspective for us. Not only as put mental health in a different perspective for us as men, so we can be better men to, not only for us but for the people that we care about, the people in our circles, people in our immediate circles. You know, and again, we here at Trailblazer Radio are looking for advertisement opportunities. If you're an author, or you're a musician, or you have a business, anything of that nature, man, you are interested in advertising with us, or you want to have your platform, want to have your book or your music video or your business spotlighted with us, please, by all means, give us a contact at Trailblazers with a Z radio at gmail.com. We love to work with you. Any emails that sent to us, we will respond within 24 hours. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, because without you guys, this doesn't happen. It really doesn't. And I want you guys to understand that. It means the world to me that you guys tune in and you guys listen to us. When we do these shows, man, it really does mean the world to us. Like and follow us on our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Follow us. Check us out on YouTube. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, y'all. Take a look at some video. Take a look at our content. If our content resonates with you, subscribe. And again, we have a GoFundMe out there for our sister Coco Fenton. We're trying to raise funds to get her this a medical procedure that she so desperately needs that could help, this is a procedure that could possibly improve her quality of life 100-fold. We're still doing that fundraiser. We're still doing that GoFundMe. Check out our Facebook page, our Trailblazer Radio Facebook page, and you'll find that GoFundMe. You'll find that GoFundMe link there. If you want to donate, by all means, do so. I think I've said enough for tonight. But before I bid you guys adieu, I want to. Before I bid you guys adieu, I'm going to close out with this song by a young lady who was interviewed by my sister Latanya Harris Good on this platform. The name of the song is "It's the Way." This lady is very prolific. Her name is Mook Star Dash. So I'm gonna take you guys home with that. I love you guys to life. There's nothing you guys can do about that. As you go through this life, and you go through this world, you go through this community, always go with God. And the 3 things I always like to say when I close out my shows: number 1, take care of each other. Number 2, love on each other. Number 3, it's a very, very crazy ass world out here. So please do this one thing for me. Please just be safe out there. Be safe out there, y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. You guys have a great evening, and an even better week. See you.
You know that I'm changing, No more ways. New doors are open. I'm no longer broken. Strategy tight, I'm living my life. Oh yeah. I paid my tithe. New blessings on my life. Oh yeah.
It's the way you keep blessing me. All I see is opportunity. You open doors that was hard to believe. I thank God you keep favor on me.
Check my bank account, all my bills paid. Doors keep opening, miracles raining all on me. I'm still alive, food on my table. God is good, you know He's able.
It's the way you keep blessing me.
It's the way.
All I see is opportunity. You open doors that was hard to believe. I thank God you keep favor on me. It's the way you keep blessing me.
It's the way you keep.
All I see is opportunity. You open doors that was hard to believe. I thank God you keep favor on me.
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith, says the Lord of hosts. if I would not open to you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing.
I know I've been changed. Things ain't the same since you came my way, yeah. You showed me something different. You showed me something new. You came and turned me around. I was lost, now I am found. Blessings on blessings, blessings on blessings. Windows of heaven, keep pouring out blessings. I don't know how would you do it. My head keeps spinning when you do it. I can't find one reason, but you showing on this season. Yep,
It's the way though.
it's the way you do, yeah, yeah.
It's the way though. You keep blessing
It's
me.
the way you do,
It's the way
yeah.
It's the way though. You keep blessing me.
It's the way you keep blessing
It's the
me.
way you keep blessing me.
All I see is opportunity.